Thanks for being here. You could be anywhere and you chose to be here. This is Lily, and welcome to Affirming Self. I am so excited to begin this journey with you today. We're here today for something both important and exciting. We're here today for you and who you are becoming. We get to discover and dive into what it means to be worthy. I know for me, when thinking about what I wanted to talk about regarding this, I felt like, would I actually be ready to talk about this? I had so many questions, considerations, doubts, thoughts. Would I even be ready to talk about this? That's when I realized that I needed to talk about this first. So I don't know about you and where you're at this journey we call life, so I can only speak for myself on this. I've come to a place where I've realized what it means to be worthy. And coming to that place, I realized that I can have what it is that I set out to accomplish in this life. Where it starts is knowing my worth. This is where you can begin too. And perhaps you're already on that road discovering that. And it's when we start discovering what this is for ourselves that allows us to move forward. Take those next steps to get after our goals and our dreams and create the life that we want. So, when thinking about this, I looked up the word worth. And when I looked up the word worth, it's defined as the quality that renders something desirable, useful, or valuable. And what I noticed is that with the word worth, and when it says the quality that renders something desirable, useful, or valuable, it left me with this idea or thought that gives sort of an open interpretation. We've heard it said before, like the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It's for me, I think of the verse. There's one in Psalm 139 where it says, "You are fearfully and wonderfully made." It's interesting to me because when you stop and think about it, we're pretty incredible. Like, we have this opportunity to wake up in the morning. And when we're even asleep, we have this amazing body that keeps us alive and breathing, and it repairs itself. It does all these things for us. And we have so much to offer. We have a day in front of us that we get to choose what it is that we do with it. I like to think of it like this. We're all born into this world. Sure, we didn't ask to be here, yet here we are. There may be days where it seems like we don't have purpose and we question, why is it that we're here? And what's the point? We have to, make money. We have to go to school. We have to work jobs. There's other things that may be coming around regarding social pressures. Maybe family or friends are wanting you to get married. Maybe they think you should travel more. Maybe they think that you should do this or you should do that or all this stuff. And really, we get to discover what it is that we want to do as we walk through this life. We get to choose what it is that we want to do. And the value of knowing this, is that we, in my opinion, need to take hold of this idea that we are worthy, because each of us, all of us, have these gifts and talents that are meant to be discovered. Once we discover them, we get to learn to interact with them and what that looks like. And then once we master it at some level, we can start sharing that with the world. You may be wondering, well, what does that have to do anything with anything? Why is that coming up? And, it's something I've said in my teaching, kind of as a guide, is that each of you are loved. You have gifts and talents to discover, to learn and interact with and share with the world. That's something that I've held to for a really long time. And for me, that once we discover the value, our worth, what is it that we bring to the table? How can we look inside ourselves to really cultivate that and to grow that? We can then share it later with others. And to be clear, we can easily get into this space of, well, I'm not worthy. Like, I don't see a value to me. Like, what do I have to offer? Like, I'm just here. And really, each of us are unique. Each of us is our own individual person. We have our own life experiences. We all have walked through this life to some point or another where there is, in fact, this human experience that we all go through, and we move through these spaces, and there's purpose to it. There is purpose to it. And as I was kind of saying this before, is that we have these gifts and talents that are meant to be discovered, learned to be interacted with, and shared with the world. Here's the thing. We can't do this as human beings until we realize that we can't be doing all of these things for other people and totally ignore ourselves. Discovering your gifts and talents, learning how to use them, share them with the world, all that's great. And I also just mentioned that you can't be giving all of this stuff to different people. When you know your value and worth, you're not going to be spending all of this time telling people what it is you're doing to receive that external validation. You're going to be experiencing that validation from yourself as you know what it is that you are doing for you. You're not going to be spending hours upon hours scrolling through your social media looking for those likes or comparing yourself to others and what it looks like they're doing. You're going to be focused on what it is that you want for yourself. You're not going to settle for less in your life because you're going to be out living life in the world with people. You are going to begin to naturally attract people that see your value, and they will choose to walk with you. They will choose to walk with you, to cheer you on in your endeavors, and to support you and to challenge you along the way. You are going to begin to discover how you can make a difference in the world and create that. Not just for yourself, though that is where you'll begin. And it will later outpour, spread, however you want to say it, to others. You're going to begin noticing where you can grow. And when you start noticing where you can grow and you choose to take that on, you are continuing to become who you are supposed to be. Yes, You're going to begin noticing where you can grow, and going to begin you are going to begin noticing where you can grow and continue becoming yourself, who it is you need to be for you. Once you are who you want to be, who you need to be for you, you can be who you need to be for others. You cannot give what you cannot receive. And if you cannot see or discover your value, how can you claim to value others when you don't even value yourself? This kind of thing comes from self-reflection, looking inward, examining who it is you are. What is it that you want? Where do you want to go? Where do you sense is your place of purpose? And that's where it begins, is this self-reflection. And that's a beautiful place to be. When you know your value and your worth, you're going to start feeling grounded. You will be grounded. You'll choose to move forward. You'll start to notice over time that you're more willing to explore and take chances and to discover and to become who it is that you need to be. And I already said this, it comes through self-reflection and choosing to take on what there is. We need to look inward and see what's there inside of us, because I've heard it said many times, you can't pour from an empty cup, Liliana. Like, you can't give and give, and not do things for yourself, like eating healthy, sleeping regularly, taking your vitamins, going for a walk, those sort of things. And it's when we realize that those things are important to keep us alive. Oh, my favorite, drink your water. Here's the thing, though. We need to do those things to keep ourselves alive, and we need to see that we're worthy of that. Even if we didn't choose to be here, we're here for a reason. And something that I remind myself, and we all need this reminder, is that when we choose to look inward and we see what's there inside of us, the favorable, maybe not so favorable, maybe neutral things, we get to do this continually through life. And we get to choose it. We could choose not to. For myself, I found that I really enjoy looking after I've done the looking. Sometimes during the looking, it is not my favorite thing. It's not my jam. And there's people in my life that would attest, like, yes, this is not a favorite thing to do at times. However, it's worth it when you get to the other side and you can see, oh, this is what I needed to see. And in the first step of this, I feel that it's important that we take the time to look. And even if it's simple, doing the thing of reflecting, like just sit and think, and take the time to reflect and move forward. This takes time, and revisiting self-reflection often. Thinking about, like, well, what was something that was good that happened today? What's something that you had intended to maybe do and maybe didn't complete? And, what are you going to do next time? However, that is a different podcast. What I'd like to offer and invite you to do for yourself, do this for yourself. Take some time, write a list of 3 things that you like about yourself. There's no right or wrong way to do this. And at times we may be thinking to ourselves, I've thought of this too at times, well, there's not something that I like about myself, or what good is there to me? And really, there's something. There's something there that is positive. Maybe it's something that you recognize in yourself, like, I'm really kind to my friends. Maybe you're a hard worker. Maybe you're someone who loves to make people laugh. Whatever it is, it could even be that you like to play Pokemon Go. I, for one, am not a Pokemon goer. I'm not sure where that came from. However, whatever it is for you, I'd like to invite you to take the time to write those 3 things down for yourself and really look. And I did this too. And, maybe it's something that is challenging for you. And you're like, I don't even know if I can do 3 things, Liliana. And that's okay. That is completely okay. You can write your list. You can start it. Maybe write that 2 things down. Maybe it's 1 thing down. And if it's too much for you to try to think about, you can take a break and come back to it later. And I can guarantee you, when you get to that place of we're writing this down and we have our list, maybe you get on a roll and you start recognizing there's a lot of things that you like about yourself. And it's like maybe 5, 10, 15. I'm not sure. I'm just throwing out random numbers at this point. However, take that time to write the list. And then throughout the week, take time and go back and revisit it. It's something that I think will give you some insight into yourself. And I wasn't going to go this route. This is kind of like a bonus, but maybe add to your list maybe some examples throughout the week where you notice that you're doing that. And that you see the beauty in yourself. And this is the time to really look. We need to look and see what's there for ourselves. And we need to not look to the right or to the left, not worry about what somebody else thinks about us or what maybe we need to do for other people. Yes, there's opportunities where we can do that and go ahead and do that. I'm not saying don't do things for other people. What I mean is take some time to look and see, what are these things that I like about myself? What are some examples that I've seen myself take the opportunity to do? And then allow yourself to be with that and to just explore, and then to see, take some time to write a couple things down of what you're grateful for. What was great about the day? Take time to write those 3 things down as well. I invite you to do that. I know I'm going to take some time and write 3 things down at least each day. There's a lot here that we get to discover, and we're all learning and walking together through this life. Even if we're in different places on the path, we're all here for a purpose. You are worthy. You are fearfully and wonderfully made, and you have purpose, and we get to discover that. And what a pleasure it is and an honor to walk with you. Thank you for being here. Really, thank you. You could be anywhere and you chose to be here. Thanks for jumping on this podcast. Thank you for sharing your time and the space with us here. And let's see what else we can discover. Have a great day or night wherever you are. And keep discovering and keep looking inwardly.